Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Click Clack Chit Chat, episode 5, Mind Freak What with us today. And, well, look, I gotta say, first off, you know, we were just having a chat about your beard, and you're saying it takes you 1 year to grow that out. But when you shower and everything, do you have to, use shampoo for it, or just water's fine?
I usually just use water, but the runner from like the hair shampoo like goes into it, and then after shower I use like beard balms and beard oils in it, so to keep it like healthy. But yeah, no beard shampoo for it.
You actually really care about your beard, but why? Like, what led you to grow that out? Because you told me that you're only 23, and it's a pretty young age to have that.
I just hate shaving, honestly. It's yeah, it's easier for me to just do this. And with COVID, I thought, because I usually up until like I'd say like a year and a half ago, I was like shaved every couple of days. But with COVID happening, I'm like, may as well grow it out and see what happens. Like, and here we are. I haven't really done a clean shave in probably a bit over a year, I'd say.
So like just testing how long it would really take to grow. Well, no, like how long you can actually grow it out.
Yeah, I know because it was a bit longer, but then I thought like I just was limit testing to see before it like starts thinning, and it started to thin, so I cut it back a bit.
Oh.
Because
is that how it works? Is that how it works? Like the longer it grows, it starts to really start thinning and just looks terrible? Or
well, yeah, because like certain hairs they grow at a different rate, so the ones that grow faster they like stick out more, and then it looks like the bottom of the beard's like really thin and you can see through it. So yeah,
right.
And that doesn't look too good. So I had to cut it back to make it more thick.
You've really delved into like the science of like facial hair or something. Goodness gracious. And how do you feel about people comparing you to a Breach kind of? Let's be honest, you kind of look like him.
Yeah, no, who wouldn't want to look like Breach? He's a lumberjack of a man. It's pretty flattering, really.
Is that what he is? Oh, whatever. He apparently his lore said he was a thief or something. Oh no, man, here's what it is. Right.
He looks like a lumberjack. I'm sure he is.
Okay, we are starting to go a little bit off track, but just to focus a little bit more. Lewis Watson, Mind Freak What? How do you explain the name?
My last name is Watson. I just took the first 3 letters of that, and I ran with it.
Wow, easy to spell, easy to remember, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because in CS my name was Kenny, which wasn't like my real name, so it like
why?
Yeah, that story is like kind of cringe. It was when Yeah, it literally was. It was when I first went. I just went like I just changed my name to Kenny S when I was like Gold Nova, which is like the equivalent of probably like Plat or something in Valorant, and I just stayed with it. And then I'm like, I'll change it to Kenny, like spelt correctly, Kenny, right? But then I changed it to be a bit more unique, and then it came Kennee, and that's what it was in CS, just to be more unique. And for a long time, I hated it. Like I really hated that name.
But you still used it.
Well, because in CS, I felt like, all right, I've had this name for so long, and people know me by this name, and if I change it, it's gonna be like harder to find teams, and people won't recognize the name as much. So I never changed it.
Yeah.
But then when I came over to Valorant, I'm like, all right, this is a good opportunity. It's like fresh start, new beginnings, and I thought, yeah, this is probably a good time to change it. So that's what I did in the beta. I changed to WAT, and I just kept it.
Okay, now that you talk about it this way, I'm not gonna lie, that actually is kind of cringe. So you only changed your name over to what 1 year ago when Valorant first came out?
Yeah, exactly.
So for the longest time in CS, you were Kenny.
Yeah, people still call me Kenny. People that have never known me from CS still call me Kenny, and like I don't know these people from CS, like, but they just hear people call me Kenny still, even though it's not my name. So it still haunts me to this day.
Did they not ask you like, oh dude, why the fuck you called Kenny?
Yeah, people do.
Oh, great. Now
they just assume my name is Kenny. That's why they don't ask.
Well, look, I would also assume your name was Kenny if I heard about that story first, but it was all because of that one time, I think it was casting with Pilsky or something, and he was saying, yes, Lewis Watson. I'm like, who the fuck is that? I was like, oh, right. Yeah, that makes more sense. So CSGO, man, like, how'd that start? Because right now you're 23 and you said you were Kenny for years.
Yeah. Well, when I first started CS, it was in high school. I was probably like 16 or 17, and I was literally just made a team with friends from school.
Mm-hmm.
We played like CGO, which is like the open division,
Yeah.
with like really bad teams, and yeah, we sucked for probably like the first couple of seasons, and then I don't know, something clicked, and I just loved the competitive scene, and I just kept playing. And I played that for probably up until like 20. It would have been from like 2014 when I started, and then I probably stopped at like 2019. Like
Right.
I kind of quit, but still played like official games, but didn't practice or anything.
Why did you end up like quitting? Because now I think about it, it's probably about the same time I quit CS. Like, is it because the game it just got stale or something? Too many issues with it, or?
For me, it was like the game was incredibly stale. Like it barely got updates. Like maybe once a year you would get like some sort of major change. Like a gun would get like buffed heavily and it would change the meta a bit, or a new map would come out maybe every like 3 years. But like it was just super boring, and it's like I don't really want to. And it didn't seem like it was really going anywhere. It was super hard to get into the top divisions, like in the top teams in Australia. There was maybe like three good teams, and yeah, it just didn't feel like it was going anywhere. So I just started easing back on like going super hard, and yeah.
So how good were you in CS? Because like for even Pilsy or someone to know you by name in CS, it must mean that you were up there.
Yeah, I played CGP, which was like the top. Well, it's not really I'd say it's the top like league, but some of the top teams didn't play it. I guess it was the equivalent of Legends, maybe.
Right.
And like they had a LAN finals for that every year, and that was
That's
like yeah,
that's
that was
huge.
that's probably the biggest leagues that I played. I played that for like 4 seasons, a couple of years, probably 4 or 5 seasons. Yeah.
Jesus, but like you couldn't really break into that tier 1 scene to get signed to like one of the best teams, right?
No, I was never on any like top teams. Like I'd say that at my peak I was probably on maybe a top 7 team at like one point.
Right, but there's a lot of teams in CS, man.
Yeah, and the teams in CS, like the difference between, it's like I'd say like the gap between in Valorant, like Order and like then the rest of us, that there was like a much bigger gap in CS. Like there was like 3 teams at the very top, and then everyone else would just like you'd be lucky to get like 5 rounds against them in like a best of 1. Like it was a big skill gap.
Now, from my perspective and like everyone else in OC watching Order and Valorant play their games, right? It's pretty evident that they are a complete tier above everyone else, just aim-wise, strats, prac, everything. But you're saying that like in CS, these top 3 teams, they completely just dominate anyone below them. Completely. Yeah, what makes it so different for a game like CS, in your opinion?
I think CS, there is less I wouldn't say RNG, but I think it's much easier to be consistent in CS. There's like, you can punish the puggiest playstyles, which like a lot of the Valorant players have. Like a lot of teams will just run around as a jet and like just jet knives you on ecos and stuff, and like there's just nothing you can do. You just get absolutely rolled. But in CS, there's like so many protocols you can fall back into and just hard deny these like puggy playstyles. And if you go against a well-practiced team that's been like together for like 6 months, this is going to be very hard to just pug your way to victory. Like you barely ever see upsets. Like even I think Renegades is probably the best team at the moment in CS in Australia, and you barely see like any rando teams taking a map off them or even getting close, let alone like the other top teams.
Now that you mention it, actually, thinking back, you're right. I don't really remember seeing that many upsets for in CS, but in Valorant, it happens quite often. And what you think it's just because of how the game is harder to punish, or like different variables with the agent abilities and everything, it just changes things?
I think there's just so much more that can go wrong in Valorant, which is very hard to like control. It's a very chaotic game. Like it's just like especially with the abilities and the ultimates, like you can win an eco from just a good ultimate, I guess. Like having jet knives, that's like jet knives armor. It's $1,000 investment plus
free ultimate, pretty much.
Yeah, plus an ultimate, and it's just you run around, and if you get lucky, you can fly up in the air and just shoot people in the head. There's a gun. It's like you can just turn the eco on its head, but like in CS you can't do that. Best you can get is like a deagle or something, and that's like much harder because you can't fly around with a deagle.
You need a miracle. It's like pop a few heads and everything.
Yeah, got to go really well if you want to win an eco.
So it sounds like that you really don't like Jet. Like you know, a few pro players in the past, like even Tux, right? He said that if Jet was removed from Valorant, the game would be so much better. You seem to be in the same boat.
Yeah, definitely. I hate Jet. It's just like it's just a stupid character. I don't know. It's just like so. Playing against them, it's just you just don't know what's happening. Like they can just dash around. Like it's very hard to punish them. Like if they just get aggro with an AWP and if they miss, who cares? They can just dash away and they're safe. And it's like if they have a judge or something, they can just jump around in the air, like shooting the judge. It's so much cringe shit that they can do. It's like
when they have the ultimate, they can just hop in the air around the corner, and exactly. it's hard to hit those, and they can just right click you and boom, done.
Yeah, I think anyone that played CS is gonna hate playing against the Jet because you're just not used to people flying around in the air hovering, and it's very strange.
Yeah, it is, but I don't know. On the bright side, it is a nice like breath of fresh air. But her ultimate being 8 points now, still not enough, or it helps things a little bit more.
Is it 8 or 7? I think
it's a lot. That's what I remember.
I think they added 1 to whatever it was, but yeah, it's still pretty bad because it's not. Obviously, it is better than before, like in terms of it's not as good, but yeah, it's still, I think it's still broken. How good the knives are, just the fact that you can just right click someone and there's nothing they can do about it.
Rough, man. Well, Mind Freak. So it's been about a year, and when you started off in Valorant, you obviously weren't signed to Mind Freak ASAP. Yeah. So what made you really get noticed and Mind Freak signed you?
So when I first came over to Valorant, I made a team with Xe, Lakers, Spesh, Major, and yeah. And
how do you know them?
Well, I only knew Xe from CS because I played with him quite a bit in CS, like way back in the day.
He was also like a pretty top tier player.
He kind of quit pretty early on. But I'd say he was like a CGI. Low CGP, probably the same as me, honestly. Like but he quit pretty early on and didn't play. But then when Valorant came out, I think it was partly to do with lockdown. I think I can't remember if I hit him up or he hit me up, but he said like, oh yeah, we should put a team together, and we did that, and then we got picked up by Avant, and
that was like one of the earliest teams.
Yeah, this was like it was not long. I don't think it was beta, but it was like a couple of weeks after release, I think.
But like,
it wasn't long.
Avant-Garde didn't last very long either.
Yeah, well, I think we lasted probably maybe like 4 months, maybe. But there wasn't really much. Yeah, we practiced pretty hard, but it's like everyone in the team was kind of doing their own thing, like IRL-wise. The people had jobs and stuff, and it wasn't like a super serious like. We didn't know what Valorant was at the time. We didn't know it was going to be this like pretty big thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, when that all ended, yeah, I think Mind Freak. How did I get? Yeah, I think I just hit up the manager, Brad, that I knew, and pretty much said, because we knew they were looking for a team, and I pretty much said, all right, I'm putting together this team. I think we're going to be pretty good. I told him the roster. He came in to watch some of our scrims, and we did really well. And he's like. He really liked just like what we showed him and what we want for the future, and he just decided let's pick him up, and that's what how it went.
Wow, so it was all off of Brad, like
Brad.
like Gogo Yubari. Dude. I feel bad, man, because like that one time, I think I was interviewing one of you guys. I forgot who it was, and then like there's shout outs to Brad. I'm like, who the fuck is Brad?
Yeah, I remember that.
Was it like talking to you or something? I swear to God, it was someone on.
I remember that. It might have been me. I vaguely remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Who the fuck is Brad? And Brad, he got so sad. He called me out on Twitter for it. I'm like, damn. All right.
I think that was me.
Cool. And then like Mind Freak, you guys, you guys were solid for, well, I wouldn't say solid, but you were climbing, and then eventually you got solid for quite a while. Who was the lineup, the 5-stack? WAT, Lakers. No, I forgot, man. Who was again? Like
the original lineup. The original was Elsno, me, Lakers, Norson, and Skrull. But then Elsno had like IRL stuff, and I think it was because of uni, he went to like dorms, and he had horrid internet, and he just literally couldn't play. Like he was out of commission for like so long because of that.
Yeah.
So we had to find a new fifth, and we picked up Pex, which was like a huge pickup, good CS experience. He played on like top teams. Like he was in those best teams in the region, like Chiefs. I think he played for. He went to IEM Sydney.
Wow.
He beat North on LAN. I remember that. But so that was a huge pickup for us.
Mm.
And yeah, I'd say that was the starting roster, because Elsno was literally only in the team for maybe like 2 weeks before like it went to shit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then like I remember when Mindfreak, you guys, signed Scroll and everything from Rip and Tear. I was like, oh yo, that's a huge win, man, because like he was grinding for so long on Rip and Tear, and he was the only one that made it into a top tier team. Everyone else just kind of.
Yeah, because I remember that Rip and Tear was looking for an org for so long, because they were like kind of breaking into that top 4, but they could never.
They were good.
Like,
yeah.
They were good. Like I think they actually beat Order in like a best of 3 or something. Like
I think they took a map or two out. Best of 3? I'm not too sure.
I think it was a best of. I vaguely remember it was like they had like this god tier series. This was like old Order. I think it was like Ferg and Wizard and stuff, not the current one. But yeah, and they still didn't get picked up by an org, and I think it just demoralized that team, and they kind of split. And we heard about the team splitting, so we approached Scroll because we were looking for a Sova player, and he seemed interested. And then yeah, that's how we got him.
Jesus Christ. And then that was the modern Mindfreak, and then for quite a while, you guys were looking really solid contenders against Order, but afterwards, what happened, man? You guys could take Order to map 3, map 5, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Map 5, I remember, but you guys could never really close out. Like, why? Do you think it's the mental thing, as like thinking that, oh my god, we're going up against the best team in the region, like, and you start second guessing yourself, or what is it?
So I think we played 2 grand finals against Order, and both series went to the 5th map, and so we literally could have beaten them twice, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the pressure or what, because we always choke the last map against them somehow, and it's
fatigue.
Like I think it is a bit of fatigue, I guess, but yeah, I don't know what it is exactly. It was like, I remember on Split it was like 13-10 5th map, and we lost. It's like we got literally that close, and we just couldn't do it. And I remember we also, when EXO was over here, it was like the exact same scenario. We got to it was a best of 3. We got to the 3rd map. We had like a 5-round comeback to put into OT, and we lost an OT. It's like we're just so close to beating them, but we just can't do it. I don't know if it's like we just choke under the pressure of like we can like taste the victory and we just crumble or something. I don't know what it is. It's like, but yeah, it's definitely something that has consistently happened. But yeah.
It is what it is. You gotta live and learn and grow past it. And for the longest time, I think you were the IGL and shot caller for Mindfreak.
Yeah, so I was the IGL pretty much up until Ferg joined.
Which is recent, really recent, honestly.
Yeah, so I was IGL for pretty much the whole time. When I was IGLing, it was like me and Scroll were like, it's kind of like I was the main IGL. Like what I said was like the final say, but Scroll would like a lot of the time come in and give like ideas, and if I was like struggling to like get a call across or something, he'd like chip in and direct everyone. So like it was kind of me and Squirrel were like partners in the IGL role, which it was pretty good. I thought it wasn't too bad, but it was a lot of pressure in like the really close matches, like to have to like call the right thing, and it's like all up to that. But yeah.
For a lot, they say that when someone experiences like a lot of stress and pressure, like hair tends to thin out a little bit more. But I don't know, man. I think you seem pretty fine in that regard.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough when it's super close. But
what was the worst moment? Oh, but do finish your point first.
No. That was pretty much it's yeah.
What was like the toughest or like the worst moment? Because you said that you guys could take EXO to map 3, Order map 5 2 times. So like, what was the worst moment in which you just felt, oh, we've fucked it?
I think the worst, it wasn't even against one of like the top teams. It was more like a team that we should have beaten, but we lost, and it really put us in a weird spot. It was against, I think it was Direwolves. It was ages ago in like the first closed qualifier or something, and they beat us, and it put us into the lower bracket of the second closed qualifier. So this is like do or die, and we were like super like upset that we lost that. Like we were, because if we lose the next game, we're like out of the close qualifier. We don't even make it to regionals. And then I think I think it was Shitiots we versed for the final match, and they were
Yeah.
like beating us. I think they were on match point, and we were on like 9 rounds. So there's like a good amount, maybe even 8 rounds. So it was like they're like a good 5 rounds ahead of us, and we were clawing it back, and we actually made it back in OT and won that game. But even though we won it, we were like super disappointed in how we played, and that was like
Because it shouldn't have happened.
Should have never happened. Like we already choked the first close qual. We're in the second close qual, which we shouldn't be, and then that was like, I'd say that was the lowest point in terms of the team. Like the team, like it was bad. Like it was like if we had lose versus Shitiots, who knows what would have happened? The team might have died right there. It's like I don't think it would have died, but it would have been like it wouldn't have been pretty. But yeah, after that it was like we really like stepped up and said, all right, no more. Like let's go full on. Let's actually put in 100% effort. And that was actually the tournament that we came second. Like that was the tournament that we versed Order in the grand final and took them to 5 maps from almost losing in the second close qualifier.
Jesus, that was a while ago, dude. Flat out.
For sure.
Did you guys ever play against Nebula? Well,
we versed Nebula quite a bit.
Have you lost against them though?
We actually lost pretty recently to them in one of the close qualifiers. They beat us 2-0. Like Nebula's a good team, but that series I feel like was a bit of an anomaly. I feel like we were just not playing our game there, and it was like, yeah. I respect all the boys, and I love Kauf on that team. He played with us for a bit.
He did.
But yeah, they're definitely a top 4 contender. Probably a little bit behind Straight Out of the Zoo, I'd say, in terms of just fragging power. But yeah, I'd say we're not really like worried about them at the moment. We're not really focusing on them at all.
That's fair. Like the only reason I bring that up is because like with Nebula, right? Their team captain always says that whenever Nebula beats a team, that team goes into full restructure afterwards because people are thinking, oh, we just lost to Nebula. That can't happen. Something's wrong with the team. Something's wrong.
I can get that because Nebula's that team that's like you look at them and it's like
the sleeper.
You don't really think like they're gonna beat you, and it's like you just sleep on them, and then like they beat you, and then you're like, oh wait, what the hell? This team that we like have a perception of that should be absolute dog shit just beat us, and it's like a big wake up call. But like they're all good players. Like they've really improved. Like since they picked up Calf, I feel like they're like really are peaking at the moment. Like I didn't really think they were good at all up until like very recently. Even with Dragon, when Dragon was like almost hard carrying them for quite a while. They were not like that special, but they've really stepped up, and all the players are really showing that they're top quality.
No joke. And like, you know, now that we talk about Dragon and progressed to this point, Mind Freak, Lakers, he retired. You know, it was just a one time he had enough with Valorant, and then he wanted to get out. And after that, you guys were in a slump for quite a bit. You guys won to Dragon, but he got banned.
Well, yeah, that was.
You guys got
we got shafted so hard by that because literally the day before he got banned, I messaged him on Discord and I said something like, "It's your time." It's like we're literally ready to pick him up, and then literally the next day, everyone's like, "Dragon's banned," and we're like, "What the hell?" We've literally got like 2 weeks to trial and pick up someone. It's like, what do we do? So we messaged like a bunch of people, and everyone's like, oh nah, like I'm going to, like, a bunch of players were already going to other teams, so it's like we couldn't get those, and there was like no top quality players that we could pick up like for the duelist role. So we I think Norson was the one that's like, let's just hit up Ferg and see if he wants to come along and
oh wait no, wasn't it like Dragon? You guys lost Lakers, and then Dragon was meant to come, but then Kelf played for you guys? Yeah. Okay. So like, who knew Kelf?
Yeah, I missed something.
Because Kelf was retired.
Well, yeah, all right. I actually missed a step. So originally, we were meant to get Dragon before he got banned or anything, like months before, but Nebula like didn't want to sell him because it was kind of last minute. It was literally like we found out like
wasn't it? Yeah.
It was like we gave he was going to join, it would have given Nebula like a day's notice before a tournament or something. So it was like fair on their end to
Jeez.
not do it. But yeah, Lakers kind of left it last second to tell us that he was quitting. So that
Mm,
kind of like really, because it was roster locks for like one of the regionals or something. So we had to pick up someone and put someone on the roster to play. So we
yeah.
just I can't remember. So yeah, we went to Dragon. Nebula said, "Nah, he's under contract. We can't let him go." We tried to buy him out, but it was like way too close to the thing. There wasn't enough time, so that fell through. So we went to Calf. I think it was. I think. Actually, not sure who went to Calf. I think it might have been me or Lakers or someone. I can't
Because
remember.
he was also like a pretty good CS:GO player from
Yeah,
what I've
like
heard,
he was a top CS:GO player. He was
but
like
he retired.
he retired quite a while ago, and he's like hadn't really been in the scene. But I saw that he was playing Valorant, so and he's like
Oh.
sharp player. He was a Jet main as well, and that's exactly what we needed. So we trialed him out, but I think it was like a month and a half we trialed him, but like we were still pretty set on Dragon, at least trialing Dragon, because that was the plan. Like if Dragon, like we always wanted to trial Dragon after his contract had ended, and
Mm.
Calf knew this. Like we were very transparent with him, but yeah, and then we pretty much decided that we weren't going to pick up Calf. Well, not too sure. It was more like the role just wasn't correct for like the play style. It wasn't really what we were looking for. We wanted more
Yeah.
like this crazy like aggro, kind of like a Ronski sort of play style where it's just like he's just
Right.
running around
Right.
killing everyone, and that was kind of what Dragon was going to bring to the team. But
Basically, Lakers as well.
yeah,
That's what Lakers would
exactly.
do. Lakers
Like
judge
Lakers,
dives right
yeah,
in and just
literally.
starts capping people.
Yeah, he had no fear. He would just do these like you'd think are dumb plays, but like it works in Valorant because Jet's a dumb character and you
Okay,
can
that's
get
fair.
away with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we went to Dragon. Dragon got banned, and then it's like, oh, we're kind of screwed
Crap.
here. We just said
Yeah.
to Calf that we don't want him anymore, so that's not really an option. It's like,
Ooh. So
yeah,
so so
I can't really go
basically,
back on that.
mm,
So it's like, yeah, it
so
was
even
kind of,
afterwards, if you try to get Kelth back, he'd be like, "No, fuck you guys."
yeah, it's like it wasn't really
That's
an
rough.
option.
That's
But
rough.
yeah, it was like, yeah, it was not a good time. It was like 2 weeks of us just like asking everyone we could think of to join. And it's just like no one is either people are quitting or people are joining other teams, and it's just like
Mm.
too close to the thing to get anyone. So yeah, we hit up Ferg, and then Ferg comes on, and then yeah, that's the current roster, I guess.
Yeah, but like initially, when Ferg joined Mind Freak as a duelist of roles, it was very surprising. I mean,
Yeah,
guy's not a bad player, but a duelist maybe isn't quite for him because, like, I don't know, maybe it's just his character as a person. It doesn't shoot a duelist. And for a while, I'm not gonna lie here, man. Mind Freak, you guys looked really unsteady, and I was like, "What the hell's the idea here, man?"
yeah, for sure. The thought process behind Ferg going duelist was he was like just coming back to the game, and we didn't
Mm,
want to like throw him onto a role that he's like not really comfortable on.
right.
So we knew he loves playing the race. He's not a bad race. He's really good with his util, and he's not scared to just satchel it in, right, and just
Yeah.
like be the bait and just like let us trade frag him whatever. But yeah, for the first like 2 weeks or so, we just had him on there just for a comfort thing for him, and yeah, that was pretty much it. Once he got comfortable with the game, we said, all right, we can mix this up and that, and then we decided to put Pete Pex on the main duelist, and yeah, and then Ferg went more into a supportive role, which I think suits him really, really well. He's playing like a smoke slash sentinel role, like
Big
on
brain, dude. Big brain. Because
yeah,
like
for sure.
Ferg, he was tier one CS:GO for sure, easily.
Yeah, he
Played,
was
coached.
tier one. In 1.6, he played like tier one French CS because he lived in France for a while.
What?
Yeah, he came. I think he came fourth in like a 1.6 major or something. Like yeah, like I
What
didn't
the
know this
fuck?
until he joined the team, but apparently it was a big deal in French, and he speaks fluent French. Like
He speaks fucking French.
yeah, he speaks French. Like I didn't know this, and then he started speaking French. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like I think it's like his mum or something is French, and he lived over there for a while. It's like crazy.
Was he born here or like born
I think
there?
I think he was born here,
Right.
but yeah, on his mother's side was French, so he knew French from that, and then he went over there for a while, a few
What
years
the
or something.
fuck? Why did he go to France? What? 2 years? He was only in France for 2 years, and he came fourth in the major.
Oh, it might have been more than 2 years, but it was yeah, it wasn't a long time, but yeah, he was top 1.6 player, like for sure.
What the fuck? Okay,
Yeah,
that is one hell of a story.
that was my reaction.
That is bizarre. Now you tell me that he speaks fluent French. I mean, like, if it was Gordon Ramsay, like a top chef or something, like, you know, speaking French, like, yeah, that's normal. But now you tell me this guy, what was his name?
Yeah.
Like, Ferguson, whatever his name is. And, like, professional 1.6 CS, speaks fluent French. Okay, what an absolute adventure. And great. Now he came back. Obviously, he's, you know, a little bit on the older side. But what does he bring to the team?
Oh, the biggest thing for him is just his brain, I think. Like his IGLing is like amazing,
How
much better
so?
than anything. I don't know, he's just got a really good read of the game and he knows like really good like he knows how to structure a team so we don't make as many like individual mistakes. Like he'll tell us if we're doing like something dumb and he'll like call us out on it and really like polish everyone like in terms of like not making these stupid mistakes that will cost us rounds and just teaching everyone like not so much fundamentals but like concepts that like he
Okay.
has learned over the years from playing in these top teams and he's like there's a lot of little things that he's shown us that are like really helpful in like every round almost.
Okay, then like give us an example because your IGL, Scroll's also the IGL for Rip and Tear. You know, you guys actually did pretty well, but you're telling me this guy brings in the next level. What is this extra bit of refinement?
I'm not sure if I should even say.
If you can share, but like, you know, I'm assuming it's like a generalized thing. It's not like specifically for you guys.
No, it's specific. Like some of these things, which I'm not even gonna say because like they're like really good. Anyone that's played with them would know what they are. Like because like, but like yeah, I'm not gonna like outright give away his secret sauce. You know, like in terms of.
But like surely you know like one general tip that can apply to everyone.
Something super basic, which most people know anyway, but it's just like keeping, like in the early rounds, don't just throw your life away against ecos for frags. Like seriously, the difference of like losing just one extra gun can cost rounds later in the half. Like he's really strict about us like not chasing the eco frags if it's gonna like lose us 2 guns for like no real reward. And the difference between going into the next round of 4 players alive rather than like 2, it's like you're actually profiting in terms of like growing your economy. But if you go into the next round of 2, you're actually like spending more in the next round than what you got.
Yeah.
So it's like carrying that over and really getting good at not throwing out like these rounds and losing these players really carries like the entire match and makes it much easier to close out because you get more gun rounds, right? And that's something that's like really strict with him. Like it's really helped us as well.
13 rounds to win, so obviously every round counts even more than like CS, because like in CS, you know, 16 to win, and realistically that's like 6 extra rounds per like in total if you consider both sides. So and that's a lot more room to play with. But yeah, man, it does make sense, especially against, you know, like higher tier teams in OC. You don't want to underestimate them on the eco. They can hit some damn shots.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Unexpected. I'm still reeling over the fact that they told me this guy was like a professional French player. And were you like fanboy? Like, oh, did you ever meet Kenny S, dude? Like, he was my role model for the longest time.
Dude, I don't think Kenny S was even a thing when he was in the French scene. This is 1.6. This is like, I don't even know. Like,
yeah, Kenny S played 1.6, right?
I don't. Did he? Like, isn't he quite young? I don't know. Maybe he did, but
shit, maybe. Because
he's
one of the big French names. CS 1.6 Kenny S. He's born in 1995. What year was Ferg born in?
What
year? You do know how old he is, right?
Yeah, roughly. I know he's over 30. He's like,
okay, so, if he's over 30, then that makes him a lot older than Kenny S.
How old was Kenny S?
Well, he was born in 1995. So if you do the math, it's only been about 21. He's 26.
So how old would he have been when 1.6 was around, which is like
I don't know,
early 2000s, right? He's like 6 years old.
Okay, yep, that makes a lot more sense. Maybe it was 10. Maybe it was 10.
Unless Kenny S was a 10-year-old prodigy back then, yeah, I'm not too sure.
Holy shit! So Ferg even predates Kenny S.
Yeah.
God, fuck! I think you have the wrong role model, bro. You should have called yourself Fergie or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You're not wrong.
Okay, and then back on topic, right? Mind Freak. You guys picked up Ferg, and he brings a lot to the team, you know, like that, as that really big brain kind of player, and, you know, just making sure you guys are disciplined overall. And once again, you guys were in a slump for a while, but
Mm.
as of late, things are looking pretty good. It seems like you guys have gotten past that initial honeymoon stage with him, and he started to really integrate into the team well, and everyone's like working better as a team now.
Yeah, for sure. We've been putting in like so many hours lately. Like I feel like
Mm.
I'd say we're I'd say we're almost at the best we've been in a very long time at the moment. So going into champs is like the best time to be in this form. Like we're doing really well in scrims. Like even in our officials, it's like the peace game that we lost. It's like that was kind of a shock for us because we just didn't expect Ronski to just go crazy like that. It's like
Dude,
it's
peace
giving me
peace is strong,
flashbacks of
man. Yeah.
dude. It was giving me flashbacks of like Ninum in Ninum's prime when he's just like plus 30 and just killing everyone. It was pretty shocking to see him do that.
Even
Like
on like
starting
eco
from
rounds,
now.
he picks up a marshal
Yeah,
and like
a
that's his
Marshall,
best
dude.
gun or something.
Yeah, I'm more scared of his Marshall than like anything else. Like that shit's scary. Like just I don't know how
Nine
he does
fifty
it. It's
bucks,
insane.
$950, and it will insta cap you.
It's crazy. Surely that shit gets some nerfs soon.
Jesus. Well, I don't know, man. Like, I think that's the whole point. There's only like one freak that can really land those shots per
Exactly.
region or something. So
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think
So it's like
that's
not going to
enough.
be
Yeah.
like the casual players aren't going to be complaining about it, and it's
Mm.
like if only a couple of people can really do it, is it going to get nerfed? Probably not. It's
No,
like
no.
that's just a nerf to like one person. But yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Like
How
you can list the amount of people that can make the marshal work out. Tens, Ninum, Ronsky. I don't even think Autumn is on that
yeah.
level with the marshal. I mean, like he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but like that really skilled marshal player, probably not so much.
I think in terms of just the scout, I think Roxy is like in a league of his own. Like I don't even see tens doing like these things that he does for the scout. I don't get it. Like it's actually insane.
He entries with the marshal.
Yeah, I just don't get it. How he's like,
Right.
it's just this consistency of it. It's insane. So like, it's
Well,
incredibly talented.
kid's young and like it's that extra plasticity in the brain and just being able to react much faster than I would say older people like us.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he plays on some whacked res, like some
Yeah,
really weird res,
I've
and
tried
some
his res. I
super high
cannot aim.
sense. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like some weird, really low res with some crazy high sense. It's like I don't know how he does it. It's like
Because
insane.
like even back in CS, right, you would probably have experienced this. How the resolution you play on is more like that. I don't know. Let's say 1280 by 1024 or by 720 or something, that kind of thing. But he plays on like more of a box resolution, for like a full 1280 by 1280 or something. I've tried it once. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is Minecraft. How are you even doing this? But hey, man, if it works, it works.
Yeah, it's working for him, so definitely don't change it.
You said that for Mind Freak, you guys now are like looking to be the strongest you've been in quite a while. Are we talking, the old Mind Freak with Lakers going 5 maps against Order strong, or even stronger, or like or like a different animal entirely?
I'd say we're not the same team, like in terms of like how we're playing. I feel like before when we are in our top form, it was mainly because Lakers and the rest of us were really just individually just killing like the enemy. I feel like Lakers
Mm.
had such a big impact in terms of just like making that X factor that's just it's
Presence.
kind of yeah, it's just you don't know what he's gonna do next. Like he's literally like just going around with a judge. Like you're scared of every single corner. It's like completely different to what we're doing now. I feel like now it's just we're much better in terms of like strategy and individual play and setups and just like the fundamentals and the theory
Right.
of the game. I think is much better now. But then again, we are also individually like probably at our best as well in terms of
Mm.
like fragging and aims. I feel like everyone's popping off at the moment, so it's like
Mm.
we've really been putting in the hours. So I'd say overall, I'd say we're probably better than what we were when we took order to the 5 maps. But then again, order is also better.
Better as well. Yeah.
It's like
And
everyone is moving up together. So like who knows? Like we've taken maps off order recently in scrims, but like
it scrims.
it's scrims exactly. You don't know what they're practicing. It literally means nothing. Like they could be practicing something that's obviously going to lose them rounds just for the sake of practicing it. Like we do the same thing sometimes. Like we just want to practice this. Like if we want to practice strategy, we might just run that strategy over and over again, even if they're stacking the site. We don't care. We just want to get the timings down and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But for sure, but it's looking good. I really hope that we can really show what
How
we've been
many
doing.
hours do you guys play? Like maybe individually or as a team? Do you know?
Um, as a team, I can pretty much say most days we get on at about 6 and then go to about 11 every day
That's
except
solid.
Fridays and Saturdays, and then that's not including individual. And then on weekends, on the Sunday, we usually get on a bit earlier because Ferg's got work, so we can't start too early because he's in Perth, so he's like what, like 2 hours behind us.
Or
So
something,
it's
yeah.
like the middle of the day essentially for him when if we're starting at like 5 or something. It's what, like, yeah, 4 o'clock for him, which just isn't doable. So yeah, on weekends we do get on early and probably go from like 4 till 6 and then have an hour break and then go into scrims and then do like an evaluation afterwards. And
Jesus,
yeah,
you're taking this fully seriously, and you guys don't have a coach or like a psychologist, even. None of that.
no, we do, we have Arkin and we have
Oh, yeah, that's right, you do. I forgot about Arkin. My bad.
yeah. Yeah, and we've got Michelle, the sports psychologist, which helps us out. So yeah, both those people
Full
are,
package. Yeah.
yeah, mind freeze.
Has Arkin like been stressing out as well, or is he an absolute trooper?
He's an absolute trooper. Nah, he's been non-stop at work, like bringing us ideas, watching every single one of our scrims, recording, giving us feedback, making videos to help us like improve what we're doing wrong, doing like strat rats and valo plants, like the strat making websites, and like,
Jesus.
yeah, he does all that for us, and it's super helpful. Like he's been like, definitely wouldn't be where we were where we are without him strategically.
Guy's a nerd, man. How'd you
Yeah,
tell me that?
yeah, yeah, he
Okay,
definitely is.
now this is still related to current Mind Freak, right? I understand that your like everyone's roles have kind of switched over a little bit more because you mentioned earlier when Ferg came in, you wanted to get him comfortable as a duelist, and eventually now he's more of that smokes, sentinel, flex kind of thing. But you were also for the longest time a initiator, but now you've started to dabble in the duelist role. It's just to help that help your team with the extra bit of firepower on certain maps, a double duelist.
Yeah, no, it's mainly on the Ascent is the only map that I really played duelist. I think
Right now, yeah.
maybe, yeah. I'm with the Reyna, but it was mainly just because it needed to be filled. Like we weren't gonna put Norson on it because like I'd never touched Sentinel or anything, and he's like a super good Sentinel, so it's like no point like switching that for no reason. And it's like Reyna's a pretty easy character. You just like shoot people and then E away, and it's like it is pretty basic. So yeah, for that we just decided I may as well just do it and just put Ferg on Smokes for that map.
Sure.
But yeah, that it seemed to work out pretty good, and Ascent was is our best map with that comp, so it's good.
And it's good to see that Pex is now, well, I wouldn't say, maybe easing is the wrong word, but he's really starting to step into the shoes as the primary duelist as
Yeah,
a team.
yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, he was a bit of teething at the beginning because he was like a Sova main before we picked him up ages ago, and then
Yeah.
he was kind of that second duelist, like the Raze or the Phoenix or
Because he was
the
never like
Breach.
that super flashy
He
space
was never
maker
a Jet.
entry. Yeah.
I'd say when we put him on Jet, like it was probably maybe a month or two ago. It was like that was probably the first time he's ever played Jet in a team, I'd say. So it was
Ooh,
like
right.
that's probably a bit of the reason why we were a bit shaky when we first like lost Lakers because like none of us had played Jet, so it was like a bit of teething issues there, like just learning how to play like a Jet, having that like fearless mentality, just running in first, don't care about if you die or something. But no, he's definitely stepped up now. He's popping off like crazy. He's really embracing the Jet role.
Very niche agent, kind of, I guess. It works for some people, other people, not so much. I don't
Yeah.
know, man. It's like, well, my experience is that whenever I have her ultimate, I pop it, I just cannot seem to get the damn bloody shots with it. And meanwhile, we play against the Jet, they can be flying, running across, and just insta headshot. I'm like,
Yeah, I got the same
what the
problem.
hell?
I don't know how people do the jumping knives. It's insane. Like I can't do that. I don't play Jet that much in ranked, but geez, it is
It makes
crazy
no
when
sense.
someone's just jumping around a corner and just knifes me in the head. Like it's
You're just
insane.
molding like a single ultimate, and that's your 4.5k buy gone.
Yeah,
Nothing.
exactly. It's like, what do you do?
Okay, man. Wednesday, 8th of September. Actually, your first game in the Oceania Championships. I'll be covering it. You guys versus Team Bliss. How do you feel about that? Because Team Bliss, they've been solid for quite a while, but in terms of growth, maybe not as like much as Mindfreak, because you guys have obviously changed your rosters. You've picked up like big brain players, Ferg, that kind of thing, and Mindfreak has completely changed into a different team. But Team Bliss, they're solid, so it's all about refinement on their end.
Yeah. We're not too worried about Bliss. Like, I feel like against like Bliss. I think if we just play our own game and just like just yeah, just play our own game and just be super confident. I think we can beat them
Hmm.
fairly easily. But at the end of the day, they are super solid players. Like they've got Major and Azo and all those guys in Freshers, which is like probably one of the
Cracked.
yeah, he's nuts. And but I do know they've done like a bit of an agent swap, so it's like they are a bit. I'd say they're a little bit weaker because of the agent swap, because like teething issues really. Like they've
Hmm.
swapped some weird stuff around. I won't leak what it is because I don't want to do them dirty like that or anything.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's interesting changes they've done. So I'm not too sure about that. But yeah,
Well,
we're too worried.
Flesh just when he came on, he said that Jungle Wow, whenever he's on the server and he's in the 1vx, everyone gives him mad respect. Same thing for you guys? Because you just don't want to be throwing like any bodies at him. Jungle Wow.
Jungle Wow. Well, that's
But like,
if
look,
if he's
on
left to
stream,
spawn. Like
yeah,
usually he's just chilling in spawn, just watching for the rotates. Usually what he's more known for, I'd say. In ranked, everyone's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna do a Jungle Wow this round." It's like it literally just means stay in spawn and just bait. It's like
right.
trust watch his games when he's playing. I think it was. What did he used to play? Like Smokes or Sentinel or something. But yeah, he's always in the spawn. But in 1vx's, like I don't think we're that too scared of him. Like,
You guys are
sure,
much more solid teamwork wise.
like we'll give everyone the same respect. Maybe like a crazy jet or something will be like, okay, we really got to like trade frag this guy, or he could literally just
Bonsky.
run around. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exactly Wronski. Like someone like Wronski or Ninum or Autumn, like people like that, you just know that they have the potential of just like literally taking 4 1v1s and winning 4 1v1s. So you just got to make sure that it's not a 1v1, make it most stacked against them, the odds. But
Full tilt. Yeah.
yeah, we're not too like we don't really think about it like as individual players, or we're scared of this person in a clutch situation.
Mm.
It's mainly just like that it's maybe the agent more than the person.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we're not really scared of anyone in a 1vx.
Then going forward, it's a bit of a dumb question to ask, but which team do you like look forward to playing against the most? And I can probably honestly expect you saying, "Oh, we want to go to grand finals. We want to rematch Order again."
Yeah, well, that's obviously the goal. But I'd say the team that we want to beat the most is Wildcard, because I don't think we've beaten them in a very long time, and it's
Yeah,
in an official, and that would be a big win, especially at the end of the year. Would be a
because
big win for us. Yeah,
Wildcard, they are strong, even on paper, very strong. But more than anything, they are starting to look a little bit mortal recently.
oh yeah. They're another team that's done. I think that Peace game gave them a bit of a wake up call, and they've done a
Yeah,
agent swap as well. Like everyone that lost the Peace seems to have just like done just I don't know. It's like what you're
Peace is
saying about
good
Nebula.
though. Yeah,
Yeah, like people don't expect to lose to them, but they got like these star fraggers on their team, and it's like
mm,
gotta respect it. But yeah, another
game
team that's
changing.
doing a bit of a change, but
Wow.
it's definitely a strong team.
So against everyone else, you're just reasonably comfortable, not too scared, fully confident that you can beat them. So not a big concern.
Yeah, we're not really worried about anyone. It's like Order is the one team where it's like if we want to beat them, we got to be playing like
The
better than
best.
our best. It's like we got to be peaking like the day that we're versing them. But like any other team, we can beat them. Like even if we're not playing our best, but it's like I'd say we still got to show them the respect that like these teams, like anyone in the top three outside of Order, so like Wildcard, Bliss, Peace, and us. I'd say any of those teams can trade like games with each other. Like I don't think there's anyone that's like clear cut better than the other.
Mm. Okay, dude. Then one final question before we finally get to the fruit tier list, because I want to save it to last. Something humorous to close things out.
Yeah.
One piece of advice you want to give to either new players or something, because you're experienced, dude. You came from CS. You're playing with very experienced players. One piece of advice you can give to anyone and everyone to help them improve or even get signed to a team.
Um, don't have an ego. I feel like people that have an ego in like ranked and stuff, like you might be like in like a
Or
Evo team or
scrims. Yeah.
something in scrims. Like if you, there's so many players that I see, especially like you really notice it when you're playing on a Smurf where you have hidden name and these players like have a huge ego and it's like you don't even know who they are and just like
Mm.
it just puts like a bad mark against their name for like it's like burning bridges almost and it's like yeah, just don't do that. don't do that in ranked. Like you don't know who you have on your team. It's like if you leave a bad impression on someone, it might like ruin your chances like in the long run because people remember these things, especially if it's like a really
Oh
bad
yeah.
like
Oh yeah, it's true.
interaction. And there's a lot of people like that, and it's
Because,
yeah,
like,
don't do
with
that.
people, the thing is that you never really remember the good or nice things they do, but you always remember that one bad interaction you've had with them. It's just how it
For
is.
sure.
All right, man. It's good to hear, and honestly, you are pretty humble from like what I've gathered from this like long talk and solid advice coming from you. Well, I hope you can see on the screen share it because I think it's time, honestly, for us to get
God.
on the fruit tier list. Hey, man, you wanted to do it,
Yep,
so
let's do it.
let's
I don't
do
know
it.
half these fruits, so this will be interesting.
You know half these fruits. Well, at least, well, okay.
Well, I know them, but I haven't had a lot of them.
If it was Ferg, he would tell you, don't think
What is a
about the half.
mangosteen? What is a jackfruit?
Where the
I
fuck
don't know
is
these.
the mango stain? I even see it right now.
Down the
Wait a minute.
bottom, fourth on the right, bottom right.
Okay, my camera's covering it. Okay, look, if it was Ferg right now, he would tell you, don't think about the fruits you don't know, but think of the ones that you do know. Think about the positives, man. Come on.
Okay, I'd say.
Okay.
We're just going from the top. All right.
You go for it. Go for it.
Green apple. Let's put that.
Yeah.
Not. I don't really buy green apples. I'm more of a red apple. But I put that in like a B tier. They're a bit too sour, honestly.
A bit too sour, man. I fucking hate green apples. It's just full sour.
Gross. I'm putting it in B just because like I know some people like them, but
I
maybe even
understand.
put it in a C for my personal. Yeah.
Personal. All right. It's all about you. C, understandable.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Red apple, an A tier, I think.
A.
Yeah.
Stock standard.
Convenient, tasty.
Although realistically, a red apple, there's really not much nutrients in it. It's basically just water and a little bit of fiber.
For sure.
Well, if you like it, you like it. Yeah.
Haven't had an apricot in a long time, but they're pretty decent.
Kind of sour though, but the fuzz are on the outside. I don't know.
Yeah, it is one of those. I'd say a C tier. Not
C
too
tier.
much of that.
Understandable.
Avocado.
That's a fruit? What the fuck?
That's interesting. Okay, avocado. Avocado is nice, but I'd say I don't know if it's S tier. I think put it at A tier. It's pretty nice.
Okay, understandable.
Right, banana S tier. Best fruit.
S tier. Why?
Convenient.
Why? Yeah.
Convenient. It's tasty.
Mm-hmm.
It lowers anxiety, so it's good before a match.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
That's it. I don't know how, but apparently that's a thing.
The potassium? I don't know.
Who knows? But apparently it's a thing, and I know that Scroll does it before every match he eats a banana.
Really? So. That's his routine.
Yep. Blackberry.
Do you?
No.
Oh, shame.
Maybe
you should.
Banana, probably should, but like sometimes I don't know. If I'm not hungry and I do not want to like force myself to eat a banana like
understandable
before a match, it'd probably make me just feel worse.
But dude, think about consistency. If you have a routine of having banana every single game and you play good, is that not like a good thing, like a mental trick maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, blackberry.
Blackberries. Haven't. Maybe a B tier. They're pretty good, but I don't get them too much. Blackcurrant. I literally only know blackcurrants from like the cordial, so I don't think I've ever had a blackcurrant like straight. So like if I'm basing it off the cordial, if it even tastes like that, it's pretty good. So A tier.
A tier. Oh, look,
cordial's pretty tasty. Blueberry.
Cordial's it's full sugar, so sure. Let's say A tier. You could say I've never had this, but which is truthful.
Yeah, put it in the I've never had this because, like, who knows if it actually tastes like the cordial. The cordial's usually just straight up sugar, right?
Yeah. Ribena. So good.
I put blueberry in A tier. They're pretty tasty.
Fair. They are green. You know that, right? Underneath the skin.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why people call it blueberries. It's only blue or like with the skin on, but underneath the skin, it's green. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. That's a rock melon, right? That's what a cantaloupe is.
Yeah.
They're pretty. Honestly, I'm a big fan. I'm gonna put that in S tier.
Big fan of cantaloupes. Yep. Shit, all right.
Rock melons are pretty goated. They're very nice. A coconut. D tier. I really hate coconut.
Why? What's bad about it?
Okay. Coconut as a fruit on its own is disgusting, I think. Like if it's mixed like coconut shavings or something in like a meal or something like that, I think there's like coconut ice cream you can get, but I don't know.
What about like the juice, the liquid inside?
Isn't it just like swampy water? It's like just gross.
Okay, fair enough, understandable. Sometimes it is refreshing, but fun fact: if you actually have too much, you'll shit yourself.
Yeah, I think I have heard that. I think last time I probably actually had a coconut is probably when I was like 12 when I went to Fiji or something. Like, this is probably the last time I ever had
Jeez.
a coconut.
Understandable.
Cherry.
Cherry.
Okay, cherries kind of annoying to eat because of the seeds. I don't know if you can get seedless cherries, but
No,
they're
absolutely
pretty
not.
they're pretty tasty. So I put like low A tier
Low A tier. Well,
just because they're a bit
what the hell are
inconvenient
these
to eat.
buttons? Oh shit!
Oh no. What have
Wait,
you
fuck.
done?
Oh, okay, I don't know what these were. What's these settings? Oh, fuck it, whatever. I won't touch it.
Let's go.
Okay, A tier.
Left is high tier, right is low tier. I think that's a cranberry. Again, I've never had a cranberry. Like,
Ocean spray. That's all I know.
yeah, that dude on the skateboard that's drinking cranberry juice. That's all I know. I don't even know if I had
It's sweet, I think. Well, the juice. It's sweet, but also just a little bit sour. It's
isn't it
not
in
bad.
America? I think there's like cranberry jelly or something that like comes in like
Oh,
a tin.
they serve it with like turkey on
That's it.
Thanksgiving. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
cranberry sauce.
Yeah, I've never had it, so no, I've never had this.
Everyone had this. Understandable.
Okay, a
Date.
date. I used to like these as a kid, but I don't really buy them. They're very sweet.
Mm.
B
They,
tier, I'd
they
say.
they are tasty. Like really
They're very
sugar
sweet.
sticky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just literally tastes like sugar. A dragon fruit. I had this once
Mm.
in Thailand, I think it was, or Singapore or somewhere.
You have been around the world. Holy shit.
Yeah, when I was in high school, my family like took me around like everywhere, so it was pretty good.
Why?
Like
Because
all
like
around.
a kid's tickets are cheaper.
Yeah, and it's because my mum's from Scotland, so she went to visit her family, and it's like all the like Singapore, Thailand. It's all like the halfway point, you know. Like you do like
Ah,
the,
right.
the stop. So we like just stayed there for a couple of days, just get the experience while going to Scotland.
If
So
your mother's Scottish, then that honestly just explains a lot about your facial hair. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. I have to cut your camera more into
there you
frame. I only had half your face and then realized I probably should have checked that prior. Oh, good. We're back.
okay.
Okay, dragon
So
fruit.
dragon fruit. I've had like it was like a dragon fruit drink, and it literally I don't know if it was just a bad dragon fruit, but it tasted like water. I don't know if
That's
that's
honestly what dragon fruit tastes like. There is no
yeah
specific
D
taste to it.
tier. Yeah,
D
D
tier.
tier. Just boring. Durian
Durian.
smells like garbage. I've heard.
Oh, mate.
So
It actually tastes pretty good. It's like a smellier avocado. It has a very niche taste
I've
to it.
heard it literally smells like someone's like thrown up in a garbage bin or something. That's what
Okay,
I've heard.
that's an exaggeration. It actually tastes good, in my opinion. It's sweet. It's sweet. It's like a really sweet, musky avocado, but
I've never had one. But
fair enough.
yeah,
Plus, on the
smells
bright
like
side, you know,
garbage.
you can use it as a weapon and just clap someone.
They're spiky, aren't they? They're like
Spiking
yeah.
really hard. Yeah.
Okay. A fig.
Mm.
What? I've heard of a fig, but I don't actually know what it is. Is it like
No
a fleshy
way.
fruit?
It's very fleshy, and like there's dried figs which actually taste okay, but I think fresh figs, it's just like this bowl of real fleshy sweetness. It's fantastic. But if you've
Well,
never
I've
had one,
never had one, so I can't rate it. A
you should try. You should
gooseberry.
try. They're really good.
Okay, I'll pick one up next time I'm at the store. A gooseberry, like it looks like a grape. Is that what it is, or is it?
Honestly, fun fact, right? Gooseberries and kiwi fruit. The origins of kiwi fruit was in the past they were actually called Chinese gooseberries. They came from China, and then they went to New Zealand, and then New Zealand made it their national fruit after growing it. So they're similar, but not quite. But the gooseberry, I've no idea what the fuck that is. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I've never had a gooseberry. I've never even heard of a gooseberry. A grapefruit.
Yeah.
That's something that like I've had it like once in my life, not very frequent. Maybe like I vaguely remember it's like kind of a soury sweet thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe a C tier. I just don't
B
really remember
tier.
what it tastes like. But I
Fair.
have
Fair.
red grapes. Okay, I'm a big fan of grapes. Like, what even is the difference between red grapes and like white grapes? Like,
Well,
what are white grapes?
obviously between the two, right? Like, it's talking about the flesh color, more or less, I think. But
White grapes? I just call them grapes, the green ones.
fair enough.
Green
It is a
grapes.
grape. You're not wrong. But I think the main difference is, red grapes makes red wine. White grapes makes white wine.
Yeah, they taste the same, don't they? Like pretty similar.
Roughly, yeah, roughly the same.
I put them both in S tier. Both grapes. Big fan of grapes. Convenient. You can just break off a bunch of them,
Mm.
just nibble on them. They're very good.
Since you've traveled around the world, right? I think it's in Japan or somewhere. They have these special
The big ones.
Oh, the big ones, no, but it's like the special breed of grapes that just taste like pure candy.
Yeah, I think I've seen those ones, and they're super expensive. Isn't fruit in Japan just super expensive? Like
Because
a lot of
they're all perfect, absolutely
yeah.
picture perfect.
Yeah, I
That's what it
remember
is.
watching a video of someone buying like these like $100 grapes, and it's just these giant grapes. Like
The
there's like
size of
five of them.
your nut, basically.
Yeah, it was like a small apple or something. It was like absolutely insanely huge. It was, but yeah, apparently they're like yeah, it tastes like candy. It's insane. Yeah,
All right,
kiwi
kiwi
fruit.
fruit.
I remember you saying you're a big fan of kiwi fruit.
Well, I didn't say I was a big fan of it. The only reason I say that is because I realistically think all the fruit you need on a daily basis is the kiwi fruit and the orange, because it's just the vitamin C. That's all you need. Wrath, maybe he likes kiwi fruit because it makes him horny or something, but
Yeah, maybe.
whatever.
I'd put kiwi fruit in. I put it in A tier. They're pretty good. Pretty
Okay,
good.
fair. I would
A
probably
tier,
put.
A tier, not S. A,
Oh,
A,
sorry.
A. No, they're not that good. They're not banana tier or anything.
Okay, that's fair, understandable.
All right, a lemon. Like, who
Pretty
eats a
stiff.
lemon? Like, it's a lemon. It's pretty gross.
I've
Like,
seen people do it,
too
and they
dark.
can do it without flinching. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Are we talking about a lemon as in on its own, or using it in like other
Well,
things?
probably on its own, because this is all fruit on its own, you know.
Okay, I'd say like D tier. Who's gonna eat a lemon? Like that's like a thing you eat as a joke. Like,
What what would you put it in? Like in your water or something? What?
I know you can put it in like curries and stuff to make it not as hot because it like
Ah,
capsaicin, it like counters it or something. I know that. But
something.
you can
Yeah.
put it in like foods. You can like get the lemon zest and put it in like cakes and stuff. I know stuff like that.
Lime?
Like a lime, it's just like a slightly better lemon, right? Maybe a C tier. Like you put it in drinks, I guess.
That's true, but oh man, limes in curries and everything. It's just
Yeah.
that it's amazing. But
Like
here's what it is.
if it's on its own, it's like it's a lime.
Very
Like,
weird.
like,
Oh,
who's gonna eat a lime on its own?
tequila shots. People just eat it,
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
sort of.
Not wrong.
Lychee, lychee.
Lychee.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've ever had. I've heard the name, but like,
Mm.
what even is that? Like,
It's basically like a really sweet grape with a big seed in it. That's the best thing. The best way I can put it.
sounds good, but
It actually is really good. It's like a very refreshing sweet taste.
yeah, never had it. So
Shame. You should.
just like
They're really good.
yeah,
Mangoes. Here we
might
go.
go to the store and buy every single one of these things that I've never tried.
It's good. You know, it's just
Wait, can you even buy durian in like Australia? Surely, maybe some
frozen, maybe fresh. It's not. It's hard.
because it smells so bad.
Oh, man, it's not. It's not bad. Honest to God, it's actually tasty. Try the durian ice cream first or something.
Oh yeah.
If you think it's tasty, then eventually work your way up to actual durian.
Okay.
Mango.
Mango. Okay, so mango in terms of taste, S tier,
Right.
but I feel like they're very messy to eat. I feel.
That's true, especially when you have like a full beard going.
Yeah, like it's actually if I eat a mango, I literally have to like wash my beard because it just gets in there and it's disgusting. It's not pleasant. So I'd say like high A tier, like above apple.
Okay. What the? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, not quite. So I rate convenience quite highly on my to put it into S tier. It needs to taste good and to be convenient. I'd
Right.
say. Well,
Okay.
rockmelon isn't really convenient because it is kind of it's pretty convenient. It's not too bad, but it tastes delicious.
Honestly, if you're any like if you're even slightly decent at like cutting
Yeah,
fruit, it's super easy.
I'm horrid at cutting fruit. It's gonna come out like a triangle or something.
Oh, never mind. I just realized I didn't have your face like fully converted over. So for the longest time, it's still only half your face talking. Okay, finally it switched over and it's so solid now. Okay. Nectarine. I love nectarines, man. White nectarines are fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. I do buy these occasionally. They are quite nice, but I feel like you can get really good ones and you can get really bad ones. Like just it's I don't know. I can't tell like when they're in the store if it's gonna be a good one or not. So it's really hit and miss. But I'd say like low A tier for nectarine.
No
For
way.
sure.
Fair.
They're not too bad.
Orange.
A bit inconsistent in terms of the
Mm.
quality. An orange. Okay.
Come on, man.
I'd say
It's not the most
high.
convenient. I won't lie, but
I'd say middle A tier. They're kind of annoying. Honestly, I think a mandarin is just better than an orange.
that's fair.
Just
That's fair.
because you can like, or is it a tangerine? Is that the same thing? I think on this.
Tangerines are usually bigger than mandarin.
Okay.
A lot bigger.
They don't have mandarin. I think. We'll just say the tangerine, just for future reference. The tangerine is gonna be an orange because it's pretty much the same thing. Not the orange, the mandarin.
This website is racist. How
Yeah,
dare
it's
you?
definitely American, I think, for sure. Doesn't
Papaya.
take a papaya. Never had a papaya.
It tastes basically like a kind of mango. That's the best way I can
Okay.
put it. Or rock melon, even somewhere like that. It's not bad, but like there's something about it. Like either it makes you shit or I don't know. I forgot. It has an interesting taste. It's not bad, but some people don't like it. Passion fruit.
Okay, passion fruit. I love passion fruit in like yogurt and stuff,
Mm.
but on its own, I'd say a B tier. Not too big of a
Wait,
fan.
too sour or like
I don't know. It's just a bit. It looks gross to begin with. It looks like someone
fair?
vomited in a fruit. But like, yeah, a bit too sour. Bit taste is just a bit weird. It's a bit funky. I don't know, and it's not
When
my go-to.
when you munch on it, all you're eating is basically seeds a lot of the time.
Yeah, it is very fleshy and it's very like yeah, not a fan. Okay,
Peach.
peach. Peach is a classic. Okay,
Mm.
got to put that in just A tier for sure.
A tier.
Middle of A tier. Yeah,
Middle A tier.
yeah,
Pear.
that's perfect. Okay, I'm a big pear guy. That's got to go in S tier. I love me a
Wow.
pear. Love me
Because
a pear.
easy to eat. It's not like super juicy and everything. It
Yeah, okay.
tastes great.
It is juicy and
Right.
they are messy, but they taste delicious. So it's worth. It's not. They're not as sticky as mangoes. So
Fair. Fair.
it's like in between an apple and a mango in terms of like juiciness.
You do eat quite a lot of fruit, man. And you were saying, oh, I don't know half of this. All right. But we are maybe towards the harder half.
Yeah, like looking at these ones, like what are half of these? Like holy,
Persimmons.
it's a
Persimmons.
star fruit. Like what is that? Like what even is this?
Starfruit
Persimmons?
is a sour piece of shit, I think. But persimmons.
I've never heard of that. It looks like some sort of mandarin sort of thing. Is that what it is?
It's basically like a sweet tomato.
Okay, that's great. I hate tomato, so
Okay, it doesn't taste like a tomato at all, but all I'm saying is like it's the way you peel it and everything. You munch on it, it's kind of like a tomato, but it probably tastes more like papaya. I'll be honest.
okay. But there's no tomato in this. Isn't tomato a fruit? Isn't that like
Uh, they say that, but it's probably better to keep tomato as a vegetable.
okay?
Pineapple.
Okay, lucky it's
Come
not on
on.
this list because it was definitely going to get D tier for me. Okay, pineapple. Don't get pineapple too often, but it is pretty damn good. I love frozen like pineapple. I remember I used to always get that in high school. That's got to go in A tier for sure.
A tier. All right, I'll put it in middle. Plum.
A plum.
Some are sweet, but I love the ones that you have as well. When you bite into it, it's a sour thing.
Yeah, I haven't had too many plums. Maybe like maybe a C tier, high C tier, I'd say.
I see tier. All right, all right.
Yep, perfect.
Pomegranate. Those are nice, man, but they are not easy to eat.
I've never had have I? Maybe. I don't remember eating one. I don't think I've had one. No.
The thing about like a pomegranate is like the seeds, the flesh, it tastes really nice, but in order to break it open, you have to basically bash the fuck out of like the ball, and it's so messy. It gets everywhere, and the stains.
really
It's kind of hard to wash out.
Yeah, it looks very messy.
I've never had this then. Pomelo.
Okay. Like what is that? A pomelo?
A
Looks
pomelo.
like a pear and
No,
something.
no. It's like a mandarin, but imagine if a mandarin and a grapefruit had a baby. It's huge. It's like a very mild tasting mandarin and white
Is
flesh.
it big? It's like actually
It's
big.
huge, like the size of your head.
Okay, that thing there looks very deceiving. It looks like small. Okay.
Pomelos are they're humongous things. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's gotta. I've never had this.
Another thing you should try, Asian store sell it. Asians love it.
Okay.
It's like a milder mandarin. Huge though. Raspberry.
Gotta put it next to the above a blueberry. Put it in between peach and blueberry. They're pretty damn good. In
Peach
A
and
tier.
blueberry. Right. Red currants. We had black currants earlier. Now it's back to red.
Never had these.
Fair. Star fruit. It's a sour motherfucker, dude.
Never. It looks like a starfish. No thanks. Never had it.
Strawberry.
All right, S tier. Literally was eating these yesterday. Delicious.
Easy to eat. Convenient.
Very easy. Very convenient.
Bit sour though. Like I've always imagined that strawberries taste a lot sweeter.
Strawberries. Okay. strawberries are so hit and miss. Like it's almost impossible to tell if they're going to be good ones or not. Like sometimes you
Right.
get the ones that literally taste like water, and then sometimes you get like the
Mm.
sweetest ones ever, and then sometimes you get like the like
Needles
the
in them.
sourest. Yeah, you get needles in them. Oh god.
Tangerine. They say tangerine, but let's just call it
Let's
mandarin.
just say mandarin because
Yeah.
I think they're pretty much the same thing almost. I'd put mandarin. I put mandarin in S tier. I think they're
All
pretty
right.
damn.
You said it earlier. Convenient to eat. Tastes good.
Yep. Watermelon. Got to put it next to cantaloupe, rockmelon, up there.
S tier as well. All right. But then
Classic.
again, it's so juicy and watery. It gets your beard wet.
It's worth it for watermelon. A good watermelon is
Worth. Okay. Yeah.
it's worth it. Honeydew.
Even the slightly worse ones, which I think is kind of rare, they still taste pretty good.
You can usually tell with the watermelons. I think if you like knock on them or something, they like
Yeah.
swish.
They say that.
Yeah.
Like a play this honeydew.
Like what? I think I might have had this at some point. Is
In
it
my
like
opinion, it's better than cantaloupe.
really?
It's like a icier, sweeter flavor.
Damn. Can you get them in Australia easily?
Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
I don't think I've ever got one.
They look a lot like cantaloupes on the outside, but cantaloupes it has that more of a wrinkly texture. But honeydews are smoother.
I've probably seen them in the store and just assumed it was a rock melon.
It's not. It's very much not. Yeah. I've never had this.
I've never had this.
Shame, you're missing out. If you like cantaloupe and that's an S tier, you try honeydew, you'll probably rank it in the same.
Too easy. I'll get that for sure.
Asian pear, fuck, I don't know, mate.
What even is that? Like, it looks like a squished pear. It looks like a, I don't know.
It tastes just as good as a pear, I think, but you've never had it.
Never had it.
Cool. Guava, oof.
Guava.
I don't know, man. They use it a lot in alcohol.
Yeah, I'd have to say B tier. Like they're.
Have you had it?
I've had some, but like, it's not like I would never buy it.
Right. Fair enough.
I think I've had it in years.
Very niche fruit.
Very niche.
Blood orange.
Okay. A blood orange. Like I've had them before, but it's like I can't really remember what it tastes like. Have you had a blood orange?
I remember once a long time ago, there was like a really big stray blood orange. I was just licking the crap out of it because it was so sweet and it was red.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it tastes so good, but I never finished it. So I'm guessing like a red, really sweet orange. Yeah. Obviously, they are sour as well. It can be. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think overall they are more sour than a normal orange.
Yeah. Well, normal orange is pretty sweet. I'd put it in C tier. I have had them before.
Fair. Custard apple.
Like, what is that? Like,
they actually did. Okay, first of all, they do sell it here in Australia, and they call it custard apple because it's shaped like an apple. But it's basically like you open it up, right, and like it's full of seeds, but the flesh that covers all the black seeds is like so sweet. It's like sweeter than basically anything on this list.
Jeez, it's
kind of messy to eat though.
I've seen this. Like, where do we have to go to buy these? Like,
probably just your Asian supermarkets. Like in Springvale, well, you don't live in Melbourne, but like your Asian places, they would sell custard apples. Yeah. Sometimes even in Woolworths, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Super sweet.
Never had it, so
shame. Ground cherry.
What is it?
I have no idea, mate. I'm just gonna put it.
Yeah.
Kumquat. Looks like a bloody tomato. I have no idea, mate.
I've heard of them, but yeah, never had it.
It's like a lemon or something. Mulberry.
I've never had it.
Raisins. Come on.
It's like sultanas, right? Is that the same thing?
It's basically a dried grape or some bullshit.
Okay. Those are actually pretty nice. I put them in high B tier.
High B tier. Okay. Jackfruit. Fuck, I have no idea, man.
Yeah, no clue what that is.
Mangosteen. It looks like a brain. I don't know.
It literally looks, like that looks gross. No thanks.
Rambutan. You've never had this. Neither have I. Sour cherry. Fuck that.
Like, is it just it's a type of cherry, I suppose? Like,
probably that they use to make sauces. But look, it's sour, man.
Just put it in D tier if it's just a cherry that's sour. It's like, who wants that?
White currant.
Yeah, you can put that with the other currants.
But the other currants, you straight up assume that they taste nice.
No, never had
currant. Oh, yeah, that's right. Never had a single currant. Wow. Damn. Pretty good.
There's a lot of these weird fruits that I gotta buy. just to try them.
You gotta try your durian. You gotta try fig, papaya, custard apple. You especially have to try honeydew. You'll love it.
Yeah, I'll definitely pick up some of those for sure.
Well, all right, Lewis Watson, Mind Freak What, thank you very much for coming on today. And we finished even your fruit tier list, which I'll download it and send a copy over to you just in case you want to keep it for reference.
I'll update it
over time
when I try them for sure.
All right, man. Last thing, any call outs, any shout outs, anything you want to say, any declarations before we end?
Just shout out to Mind Freak and MJ. He's been doing a solid job at running the team since he picked up management. And follow me on Twitter at @what_Val.
Yeah. Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Clack Clack Chit Chat episode 5 with Mind Freak What. I'm Digital Cast. You heard the guy. That's his handle right there. Go give him a follow. Go give him a follow. Show him some love. As always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. And we'll see you next time. I don't know who it'll be because we are 4 days out from OC Champs and odds are we won't have much time. But regardless, in the future, we'll be back. Thank you.